The Secretary of Homeland Security is standing by her department's report that warns about, quote, right-wing extremists. Those extremists might include military veterans, pro-lifers, and people opposed to illegal immigration.
Both Republicans and Democrats are asking serious questions about the controversial report. Jennifer Wishon has the story from Washington.
In the report, the term right-wing is defined as those who reject federal power in favor of state or local authority, as well as disgruntled war veterans, people who are against abortion, and those who oppose illegal immigration. But the chief counsel for the American Center for Law and Justice tells CBN News the founding fathers would be shocked.
This is an ideology-based assessment that basically takes conservatives and say, we are looking out at you.
Secretary Janet Napolitano says her department has to be concerned with all threats of terrorism.
Sorry to say, but it's the reality that we deal with. The threat environment is that we have several factors that could lead to an uptick in extremist violent activity.
Republican leaders are outraged. House Minority Leader John Boehner says to characterize men and women returning home after defending our country as potential terrorists is offensive and unacceptable. Democrats are disappointed too. In a letter to Napolitano, Congressman Benny Thompson, who chairs the House Committee on Homeland Security, writes, "I'm disappointed and surprised that the department would allow this report to be disseminated in its present form." The White House isn't saying much about the 9-page report sent to law enforcement agencies across the nation, saying the president isn't focusing on politics, but rather protecting Americans from terrorists.
The president refuses to use the word terrorist when he's over in Europe talking about those people that are trying to kill us. But in the United States, there's no problem for the administration to use the word terrorist when they're talking about people that are pro-life, that are in favor of the Second Amendment, or opposed to the administration's policies on immigration.
There's one thing I regret about that report, and that it is being read by some to suggest that all veterans of our military services are somehow at risk of becoming extremists.
She's agreed to meet with American Legion leaders next week to clear the air. The ACLJ plans to send letters to law enforcement agencies warning them the report in no way gives them license to disregard the Constitution. Jennifer Wishon, CBN News, Washington.
If that had been a Republican, there would be outrage and screams for Janet Napolitano to resign immediately. Terry, you're somebody who favors life, wants to keep little babies alive.
Well,
somebody who has been a veteran and served our country as a proud member of the military. Somebody who is opposed to the left-wing policies of the administration and who wants to express his or her views as they are entitled to under our Constitution. These people are now being stigmatized as terrorists. This is an outrage. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to do something about it. I tell you what, if that didn't get you excited, I don't know what will. And I want you to call a number. This is the Department of Homeland Security, 202-282-8000. Get on the phone and call them. 202-282-8000. And just say you protest. This is an outrage. And Janet Napolitano has got a lot of explaining to do in that lame excuse she was giving. Oh, I'm sorry they characterized all veterans that way. I mean, come off it.
The report was the report. I mean, it is astonishing that it was allowed to leave under that.
Well, it shows somebody down in the bowels of that organization is either a convinced left-winger or somebody whose sexual orientation is somewhat in question. But it's that kind of thing. Somebody who doesn't think we should have abortion on demand is suddenly labeled a terrorist. It's outrageous. I hope our Catholic friends and the bishops and archbishops will get, in line and start making their protests felt, because this is stigmatizing a vast swath of our people, and it's not Democrat or Republican, it's just an outrage. And one more time, if I could give you that number, it's 202 282-8000. That's the Department of Homeland Security, and who knows how secure we're going to be. I saw what FEMA did down in New Orleans, and it was anything but secure. Lee Webb has the rest of our top stories from the CBN newsroom. Lee?